I admit it, I've failed. I've failed in 5 significant ways to improve my winter wardrobe. I've either bought the wrong thing, I haven't found the right thing, I've failed to style some of the items I have bought. In other words, I've made a bit of a mess. Now, if this resonates with you, then please keep watching. Hello and welcome, or welcome back. So let's start with fail number 1. And this has been something that I have failed in for probably the last 20 years or so. And that is to find a pair of black tailored trousers that suit me. Now, you wouldn't think it'd be that difficult, would you? After all, black tailored trousers, they're 10 a penny. They're all over the show, aren't they? Well, they are, but not for my body shape. Now, let me explain, first of all, what my body shape is. I'm 5'4", although I may be 5'3.5" now. I may have shrunk a tiny bit. I am 70, by the way. I'm 5'3.5", going on 5'4". I have a very short torso, and so all the length of my body is really effectively in my legs, which is lovely if I was slim, but I'm not slim. I have a 31-inch waist and 38.5-inch hips. So the hips are not so much the problem. The waist is a problem, but I also have a large roll of fat, which I've had for years, by the way, years and years, probably since I was about 15 or 16. Okay, it's got larger, but it's the same sort of shape just below my waist. So I have a lot of podge to deal with. And so that means that when I try to find a pair of tailored trousers, they don't sit properly around my waist and hips. I look like I've got this huge bulge, which I have, which is being contained somehow in the trousers, but it's not making the trousers look good on me. Now, there are various ways that I can try and deal with that. So the first is trying a pair of wider leg trousers. Now, those of you who watched my channel before will know I have tried wide leg trousers and I've tried medium width trousers because that's the fashion at the moment. And also because I get bored wearing skinny jeans all the time, and we'll come to jeans in a moment actually. But the theory is that pleated black tailored trousers that are a little wider suit apple shapes. Now, I'm not exactly an apple shape because I do go in at the waist, just not as much as other people. But I'm not apple, I'm not sort of, I don't kind of come out like this under my bust and then go back in again. So the problem I've got is the wide leg trouser on the leg might look fine, but it doesn't sit right around my tum. Now, I have tried to deal with that by wearing elasticated trousers, because elasticated trousers that are slightly pleated, for example, will fall over my tum, so they're not going to show the big roll of fat. The problem is that with elasticated trousers, you have to have them at a high waist because effectively the elastication goes around your waist. Now, because my waist is so high up, it's almost under my bust, it's that high, the trousers just don't sit properly on me at all. They look ridiculous because it looks like I'm almost wearing a skirt. I've got something that's come almost under my bust and then is falling down. So the shape of the drape, if you like, the way the trousers fall, doesn't work either. Now, I have tried various things. I've tried tucking in because I know that a lot of stylists say you should tuck in even if you've got a larger waist, even if you're apple shaped, to create an hourglass shape, to create a waist. Well, I'm sorry, but I just can't do it. It looks awful on me. I do not want to show my tum. And if I tuck in a shirt or a t-shirt or a jumper into my trousers, even if I've got a belt, I'm going to be accentuating it. I really don't like doing that. And what I prefer to do is create a boxy shape. So if I've got a longer jumper, I can tuck it under, and that does work better, but it still doesn't work on elasticated waist trousers or pleated trousers. Now, the only 2 pairs of tailored, if you want to call them that, semi-tailored, I would call them, black trousers that I own are quite an old pair now, from a couple of years ago, from Agnes B. Now, Agnes B is a French brand. It's super expensive, and I actually looked on their website yesterday at some black tailored trousers, and they're really expensive. I don't want to pay £300 for a pair of black tailored trousers. I really don't. So that's one of the issues. Maybe if you go at the higher end, you could find somewhere. So that's an issue. But anyway, these black jersey trousers in a beautiful fabric. They do fall very well on my body and they do suit me for some unknown reason. I think because the jersey is heavy, whereas the Vince elasticated, well, they're not tailored, let's face it, but the elasticated waist, wide leg trousers from Vince didn't work at all on me. Again, they come right up to under my bust and that just doesn't sit well at all. It doesn't look right. The other pair that do work are the Uniqlo drawstring trousers, which are sort of tailored, I guess, but in a way they're not, are they? Because they're not of a stiff fabric, they're of this flannel. And they do fall nicely, they drape nicely, and if I do the tucking in of a longer jumper, I think they do look good. But I went out yesterday for a huge sweep of the stores in the West End, and I could not find a black pair of tailored trousers for the life of me, even in Uniqlo, and Uniqlo had quite a good selection, but I could not find anything that suited me at all. Now, I would love to know if you are a similar shape to me, or even if you're not, if you know of a black pair of tailored trousers that you think would suit me, please let me know in the comments. I'd be so grateful, because I really am on the hunt for a pair. It's not just for a video. I actually want to own a pair of black tailored trousers, because all I wear at the moment, if I want to look smart in a black pair of trousers, I usually wear my Uniqlo collab with J Brand from 2 or 3 years ago, which are sort of like legging trousers, but because they are they're kind of a jean style, they have a zip and they have a thicker fabric, they do hold me in. And yes, I'll do the boxy style jumper on the top, but they do look nice. But they're skinny legs, they're not wide legs, they're not sort of drapey at all, they're just this classic skinny leg jeans. And I also have a pair of black jeans from Uniqlo, which luckily, because a lot of black jeans, they have that sort of faded look, don't they? They're not true black, but luckily both pairs I've got, the Uniqlo jeans and the Uniqlo with J Brand collab. The fabric is nice and black, so they can look quite formal, but they're not really formal, they're just jeans. So if you've got any suggestions, I'd be really delighted to hear what they are. Now, talking of Uniqlo, the second fashion fail is this green olive dress. Now, I really love the idea of this dress because I love a sweater dress, and I've had sweater dresses from Uniqlo before. And I really like the idea of the fabric because it was in this souffle yarn, which is a really soft polyester fabric that feels like wool but is much cheaper and very, very soft. But as you can see, it just looks boring on me. The colour probably isn't the right colour, although I do like olive, but maybe it's not the right olive, or maybe it's the fabric that doesn't work quite as well on my complexion. And it feels really comfortable, but I've tried styling it with the boots that I have and the shoes. I don't think it looks right at all. I think the only thing that would work is if you had high leather boots. That would probably work really well, but I don't have high leather boots, and I'm not going to buy a pair of high leather boots just to go with a dress. It would be ridiculous, because what am I going to wear them with otherwise? I'm not going to tuck my jeans into boots. That's the look that we did 30, 40 years ago. I've been there, done that, and I'm definitely not going back there again. So I'm really disappointed with myself. I should have probably tried it on in the store, or I should have actually passed on it, because I'm just not going to get any wear out of it. So I'm going to have to declutter it. Now, the third fashion fail, well, I don't want to call it a fail exactly, because it's not really a fail, but it could be a fail if I can't find what to do with it. And it's not it, actually. It's a pair of leather boots from Mango. I absolutely fell in love with these boots as soon as I saw them on Mary Madane's channel. And she's a really good YouTuber to follow if you're interested in fashion. She's half my age virtually, but she has a really quite classic aesthetic, which I really enjoy watching and sometimes buying from as well. So these boots really attracted me. I liked them because they looked different. They looked, I suppose, maybe in the slightly Mary Jane aesthetic, although I gave up the Mary Janes because I found that I just wasn't wearing them at all and I just didn't feel right in them. And these have a similar vibe to them because, as you can see, they're very flat, they're very, very comfortable. The leather is super soft, and they were on sale, I think, for £55, which was amazing for a pair of leather boots. But I just haven't quite worked out how to style them. Now, I was sure that they would suit me because I've got narrow ankles and shins, and I do think they look good on my legs. but it's what to style them with. Now, I did wear them with my long dress that I bought for the wedding I went to on New Year's Eve, and I do think they look good. But I've tried styling them with trousers, and I'm just not sure whether they end up looking a bit like duck feet because they are very flat and square. Now, I think Mary, in her video, she talked about wearing them with a long straight skirt. Now, I don't have a long straight skirt. In fact, I've only got one skirt and I've slightly gone off it anyway, but maybe I should try that if, of course, I can find a straight skirt that suits me, because that's another issue I have with skirts, is they end up, especially those kind of tube style skirts, they don't really suit me either. In fact, I don't think skirts suit me at all. Anyway, so I am puzzling about what to do with these boots, because I can't just wear them with the dress. That would be ridiculous, although I do love them. So any suggestions gratefully welcome, but I will be working on how I can style these boots because they are beautiful and comfortable, and I really do want to continue wearing them. Now, my third fashion fail is winter whites, or rather the winter whites I've got and how to wear them, because I think winter whites can look beautiful. And I thought I would try, when I was in town yesterday, as I mentioned, I tried these Uniqlo wide leg cream trousers, I think they were. Now you can see in this image, they look awful on me. They make me look fat. They are not stylish. They sit in the wrong place. They're all the things that we talked about in the first fail, actually. But I really thought that a winter white bottom would look great. Now, I do have some winter white bottoms. I have those Uniqlo with J brand collab white jeans, which are lovely and there's nothing wrong with them. And I did style them recently with a pair of Vivaia boots that I was gifted, and I think they look great, but they look quite old-fashioned. They look sort of old and preppy, which might be fine. But I was looking for some slightly flowier trousers, something a little bit more modern, a different silhouette, because like I said before, I just get bored with wearing the skinny jeans look. I want something a bit more flowy on the bottom. And because I struggle with skirts as well, I mean, dresses are about the only thing that I can find that I think look right on me, although some people might say I look a bit large in them. But a girl has to try these things out, doesn't she? So I really don't know what to do about winter whites, because I love the whole concept of them. And you can see I've got this beautiful Chinti Parker cream jumper, which I think does look nice with the white. It's kind of tonal, isn't it? And the Vivaia boots. But it's just not that exciting a look in my view. It's fine, it's okay, it looks good, but it doesn't look great. And I would like my winter white look to look great. Now, my final fashion fail, and I'm so disappointed with this, is what we're going to call the hot secretary look, or the Chrissy Hind look. And it's what to do with this beautiful green silk shirt from Quince. Now, this was also gifted to me a few months ago, and I did show it in a video, and most of you said, not really sure it's quite right for you, although they like the colour. And that's how I feel a little bit. Although I do love the shirt myself. I love the way it looks around my neck. I like the tie. I like the hot secretary look, or the Mrs. Thatcher look, as we might have called it back in the day. And so I thought I'd try styling it a la Emily Wheatley, another fashion stylist on YouTube who I like watching, and she might style, I would suggest, the green silk shirt in this way, with the oversized blazer, with the black jeans, possibly with the Chelsea boots or maybe pointed boots. That to me looks good. But again, because we've got the skinny jean silhouette, it's not looking modern. In fact, it's a throwback really, which is why I mentioned Chrissy Hind. It certainly would have been her kind of look, I think, if she was wanting to amp it up slightly with the silk shirt, because she used to wear those sort of mannish clothes. Gosh, I was such a fan of hers, by the way, I still am. And so that's what I was trying to do with the shirt, because if I'd worn the shirt with, say, the Agnes B black jersey trousers, it would just look boring and formal. And I like the idea of pairing a silk shirt with something a little edgier, but I can't quite work out what the look is. And I'm really determined to do it if I possibly can, because I absolutely love the shirt. And again, any suggestions you have, do let me know in the comment section. So I suppose the main lesson I've learned from this exercise is not to rush in to bring things into your wardrobe just because you fall in love with the item, because the item might be beautiful in and of itself, but if it doesn't go with 2 or 3 things in your wardrobe, you're just not going to wear it. So it's a tricky one, but I'm going to end up with a pig in a poke if I keep doing this, and I'm going to have to then declutter or give away or sell them on Vinted, and it's such a shame and it's a terrible waste of money. So I'm going to have to learn that lesson. I've learned it the hard way, and I'm going to have to learn that lesson if I can't find ways to style these items that I've brought into my wardrobe that don't actually go with anything. But the other thing I suppose I might have to try and do is buy a pair of tailored trousers that are perhaps a little bit too large. But the only problem we have with the black trouser issue is the waistband's always going to be a size, and even if it's made smaller, even if I get a very large pair and you're going to then take the waistband in, it's still not going to sit on my waist. It's still going to be too high-waisted. So I don't really know what the solution to the black trouser issue is, but anybody out there who knows anything about tailoring, please let me know. I'd be really grateful, as I want to solve this conundrum that's been going on for 20, 30 years. And do let me know in the comments your thoughts and your difficulties. What difficulties do you have of finding fashion items to suit you, and what kind of look would you like to go for but can't because of that difficulty? I'd be really interested, and I'm sure all the viewers of this video would as well. So that's it. Before you leave, I'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and of course give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And if you'd like to hear more from me, I have a monthly newsletter. And in that, I don't just talk about fashion, but I talk about beauty, lifestyle, entertainment, and all the other bits and bobs that bring us joy. And thank you so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. It really does. And I hope you're all doing really well. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye.